This is the O2 Media Network, and this is Sports Final with Steve, the X-Man Bexley, brought to you by the O2C Media Network. Now, with the details that make the headlines in this mayhem of a Monday in sports, here's Steve. And good evening. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to another grandiose edition. Hey, it's a new week. Glad to have you with us. Glad to be here. And mainly glad. Okay, folks, let's get ready. There is no monologue, but we want to get some more people to view us. So if you can, folks, please tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody that there's a sports show that's a little weird, a little off center, a little eccentric, and that's pretty darn good. Anyway, got a lot for you tonight, so without further ado, let's get you to the world of sports. We do that dramatic pause perfectly. Why? Because we can, and we do good. All right, let's rocher this puppy and get you some headlines. Yes, friends. Most of them dealing with the National Football League as we draw ever so close to the draft and everything else therein. So, Tennessee Titans, according to Ian Rappaport from NFL Media. The deal calls for an unknown swap of picks. Wilson was the number 29 overall selection in the 2020 NFL Draft. The former Georgia Bulldog appeared in only one game for the team that drafted him. He was placed on the COVID-19 reserve list twice, suspended for the team's Week 13 game following a violation of team rules. And as of February 16th, Titans general manager John Robinson had not spoken with Wilson since he was placed on the reserve non-football illness list in December. The 22-year-old had also been arrested for a DUI in September. A late-night post on February 22nd suggested that the lineman intended to give up football. Days later, it was reported that Tennessee had begun to in a trade. Robinson issued a challenge to the New York native, quote, via Pro Football Talk, quote, he's going to have to make a determination if he wants to do everything necessary to play pro football. It's going to be on him. Now, Wilson should compete for the starting right tackle position in Miami if he's able to stay on the straight and narrow path. Rookie Robert Hunt would presumably slide inside to the starting offensive guard position manned by Eric Flowers. Now, is the second prospect to be traded from the 2020 NFL Draft. Miami also acquired wide receiver Lynn Bowden Jr., a third-round pick from the Raiders. He has 3 years plus a possible fifth-year option worth more than $5 million left on his rookie deal. Now, the Dolphins have the ninth most salary cap space in the NFL, roughly $35.6 million. The franchise holds 2 first-round picks, including the number 3 overall selection acquired from the Texans as part of the trade for offensive tackle Laramie Tunsil. Now, this is what happened last night. Didn't get a chance to report it, but we do so now. It's been a long time in the making, but Dak Prescott is now married to the Dallas Cowboys. They're honeymooning in Jerry Jones's party bus. The two-time Pro Bowl quarterback has agreed to terms on a new contract. Sources confirmed to CBS Sports it was an exhaustive negotiation for both sides. It began 2 years ago and saw a mix of compromises and stalemates that led to a franchise tag being applied in 2020 and a second, more expensive one looming in 2021. But the team achieved its goal of avoiding carving out $37.7 million on a second tag and instead secured Prescott for the long term. The official cap hit of Prescott's new deal is to be determined once the contract is finalized and the structure is revealed. But it stands to reason the first year will be a lower hit against Cowboys' salary cap than if the tag had been applied. And the numbers are in on it as well, making for an easy preliminary calculation. Prescott stood firm and got his ask of 4 years with a maximum value of $160 million, with a record $126 million in guaranteed money. Sources confirmed to our friends at CBS Sports. The total value can ultimately reach upward of $164 million with escalators. He'll average $42 million per year over the first 3 seasons, but there's a reason the overarching deal helps Cowboys save cap space. It's because it's reportedly actually a 6-year deal that's voidable after 4 years per ESPN's Adam Schefter, which means the much-needed compromise that had to be struck to get it done finally was achieved after 3 years of trying. Now, the deal marks the 4th contractual home run swing which Dallas has been able to secure one of their cornerstone players, 5 of the count starting right tackle Lael Collins, having already done so with DeMarcus Lawrence, Ezekiel Elliott, and Amari Cooper before now. Following the move to secure defensive end Lawrence on a 5-year deal worth $105 million that made him the highest-paid player on the team at the time, and fellow All-Pro Ezekiel Elliott secured a historic deal of his own only 4 months later, Cooper garnering a $100 million deal in 2020. The latter two would mean precipitously less if talks eventually devolved to the point where Prescott walked in 2022 after being forced to play under another tag. But the Cowboys are thankful it never came to that. Now, although they did dance dangerously close to that edge of the cliff and how the negotiations dragged on into a 3rd year, and was reported by our friends at CBS Sports in July, the negotiations were steered by Stephen Jones with little to no interference by owner Jerry Jones, but a separate source indicates that that wasn't the case this time around. As expected, the elder Jones held in one hand on the wheel to prevent the car from careening over the median and into the ravine, and Prescott himself was more involved as well than in previous attempts. Now, that said, things never once became contentious, between Prescott and the Cowboys, although there were frustrations in seeing the July 15th deadline pass without an agreement. The team, otherwise known as Stephen Jones, and Prescott's agent Todd France locked into a quiet stare down, mostly due to the length of the deal, with the Cowboys wanting to secure their quarterback for 5 years, but France was hell-bent on keeping it no longer than 4. At one point during the day on July 15th, the silence was broken by the front office and Prescott speaking directly. Sources told our friends over at CBS Sports at the time, but by then it was too late to hammer out the final details and submit paperwork to Leeds front office before the 4 p.m. deadline landed. Things got only more complicated from there, with the COVID-19 pandemic set to scuttle a portion of what was predicted to be a much increased salary cap for 2021, and Prescott having suffered a season-ending ankle injury in week 5 that required surgery to repair. The latest round of silence has been rooted in the Cowboys desperately trying to get a handle on what the new salary cap would be before reigniting talks with Prescott. But the final clarity number didn't arrive before the franchise tag window opened on February 23rd, the team having no willingness to take Prescott until and or unless they absolutely have to. Now, with Prescott's value to the team having been put on full display during his absence, with his decision to undergo a second voluntary surgery to further strengthen his ankle, one that has him ahead of schedule and likely to join the team in April to begin off-season conditioning. The NFL and its Players Association agreeing to a $100 million cap floor provided at least enough clarity for the Cowboys to reach out to France in late February to reopen talks. It took a while for it to happen, but the Cowboys finally made it. Rain on, Dakota Prescott. Yeehaw. Okay, we are going to take a break. Why? Because I has to go to the loo. We do have some breaking news, however, to report. We have our that's right, breaking news out of Kansas. Les Miles is out as coach at Kansas amid some very troubling allegations. We'll tell you more about that in a few moments. I got to pay a little visit. So talk amongst yourselves for a little while. Be right back. All right, thank you very much for waiting. You you can't. You know what they say about keeping nature on hold. You can't do that. When you get the call from nature, you gotta take it. Okay, let's get some breaking news. That's right. And this breaking news is a heart one. Kansas and head football coach Les Miles have mutually agreed to part ways effectively immediately. Let's try that again. Kansas and head football coach Les Miles have mutually agreed to part ways effective immediately. The school announced late Monday night. Miles, who took over the Jayhawks program in 2019, was at first placed on administrative leave over the weekend after an explosive report became public last week that revealed he behaved during his time as LSU coach. Announcing the decision to place him on administrative leave over the weekend, Kansas Athletic Director Jeff Long vowed to, quote, conduct a full review, end quote, to determine appropriate next steps. Quote, by Long on Monday, I am extremely disappointed for our university fans and everyone involved with our football program. There is a lot of young talent on this football team, and I have no doubt we will identify the right individual to lead this program. We will begin the search for a new head coach immediately with an outside firm to assist in this process. We need to win football games, and that is exactly what we're going to do, end quote. Miles, who was 3-18 in his 2 seasons at Kansas, called the mutual parting a difficult day for him and his family. The terms of the separation were not disclosed. Miles said in his, final statement, quote, I love this university and the young men in our football program. I have truly enjoyed being the head coach at KU and know that it is in a better place now than when I arrived. To our student athletes, I want you to remember came to play for KU and earn a degree here. So I implore you to stay and build on what we started and do all of the things we talked about doing together. There is a bright future for all of you and for KU football, end quote. Kansas offensive coordinator Mike DeBoard will continue to serve as the program's acting coach until an interim coach is determined. The program explained the national search for a new coach will begin immediately. Miles' alleged misconduct at LSU surfaced after a Hush Blackwell investigation into Title IX issues at LSU, which detailed inappropriate behavior that included texting female students, taking him to his condo alone, making him and on at least one occasion kissing a student and suggesting they go to a hotel after telling her that he could help her career. The Hush Blackwell investigation also brought the revelation that former LSU athletic director Joel Aleva wanted to fire Miles for a cause in 2013 over his misconduct. Miles continued to coach for the Tigers before being fired in the fall of 2016. Kansas officials told Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports that the Jayhawks thoroughly vetted Miles and did not encounter any red flags ahead of his hiring. Miles previously reached a settlement with the former LSU Athletic Department student intern while he served as coach at LSU, according to a February report in the Baton Rouge Advocate. He has denied any wrongdoing. His attorney, Peter Ginsburg, issued a statement Saturday calling Long's decision to place Miles on leave as, quote, bending to the winds of media blowback, end quote. Ginsburg also said on Saturday, quote, Kansas's decision to put Les Miles on administrative leave is both disturbing and unfair. To fail to recognize that a person's career should not be compromised by unsubstantiated allegations hardly is consistent with the example an institution of higher learning should champion. Kansas sources pushed back against Ginsburg's assertions. Quote, source told Dodd, quote, that was disappointing. He put out a misleading comment in his statement. Wow. Incredible. Anyway, let's continue on here and get you some more headlines. And we got some NC2A basketball scores, some NHL, maybe some AHL. We've had a problem with the website recently, but we'll talk about all that in a little bit. Right now at 53 minutes past 11, let's get back to more headlines. Ricky Williams does not regret temporarily walking away from football in 2004. Just 2 years after winning the NFL rushing title, he also doesn't regret missing the entire 2006 season after violating the league's substance abuse policy. Williams doesn't even regret retiring the year before the Ravens, his third and final NFL team, won the Super Bowl. Instead of hoisting the Lombardi, Williams was actually working as a cameraman when the Ravens defeated the 49ers in Super Bowl XL, which is 58. No, 57, excuse me. That'd be 47. Yeah, 47. XL is 55, 6. Somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, that would be 47. Okay. We'll figure it out so I don't look dumb. Okay, let's okay, 47. Thank you. Super Bowl 47. Wow. That was fun. Now, if Williams does have one regret from his roller coaster NFL career, it is that he did not retire as a member of the Dolphins, a sentiment he recently shared during an appearance on the Greg Cote Show podcast. Williams, who recently launched his own podcast, said, quote, "I'm not the kind of person that has many regrets. I do have one regret in my football career, and it was that I didn't finish my career as a Dolphin. It would have been great to play my last year in Miami. I probably would have played a couple more years if I stayed in Miami, and I would have had the opportunity to become the Dolphins' all-time leading rusher. I was maybe only 400-something yards away. Williams actually finished 301 yards away from matching Hall of Famer Larry Zonka as the Dolphins' all-time rushing leader. Zonka, the Dolphins' starting fullback when Miami won back-to-back Super Bowls in the early 70s, temporarily left Miami before retiring as a Dolphin after the 79 season. Now, Williams wishes he would have done the same. Many fans don't remember, but Williams was on the precipice of greatness at the turn of the century. The 98 Heisman Trophy winner who broke Tony Dorsett's 22-year-old record as major college football's career rushing leader. Williams rushed for 1,000 yards in his second NFL season while helping the Saints win their first ever playoff game. Williams rushed for over 1,200 yards in 2001 before he was traded to Miami prior to the start of the 2002 season. That season, Williams earned his first All-Pro selection while leading the NFL with 1,853 yards. The 5'10", 226-pound Williams had devastating combination of strength, speed, and agility that allowed him to beat teams with both power as well as finesse. Now, Williams said there were many different factors that led to his abrupt retirement just before the start of the 2004 season. One factor was the fact that he was coming off what he described as a horrible 2003 season that saw him lead the NFL in carries for a second straight year, but unlike the 2002 season, when he won an NFL rushing title while averaging 4.8 yards per carry, Williams averaged just 3.5 yards per carry in 2003, his worst average since his rookie season, along with feeling like he had regressed for the first time in his athletic career. Williams grew tired of the Dolphins' over-reliance on him. Part of that was the team's change at quarterback from Jade Fiedler to Brian Griese. Williams said former Dolphins coach Dave Wannstedt admitted as much when the two ran each other at the last Super Bowl. Wannstedt kind of laughed and he said, I've learned a lot. And one of the things I've learned is how you trust my quarterbacks when you played. I didn't trust my quarterback, and so if he threw an incomplete or plays close enough, it was not a bad way to win a game. All right. God. Okay, anyway, that is one part of this um, one part of our NFL report coverage. We will have the second half in but a third. There we go. A little yawn. Okay, in college basketball, well, ugh, there we go. Okay, the conference tournament schedules. Meanwhile, Appalachian State, UNC Greensboro, punch their NC2A tournament ticket. Let's get it going, shall we? Okay, Monday's conference tournament schedule and scores. The Colonial Horizon League, MAAC Southern Championship, Summit Semifinals, Sun Belt Championship, and WCC Semifinals. So let's get to the schedule for the ACC, the tournament site, Fort Worth, Texas, March 11th through 14th. The championship game will be March 14th at 3:15 on ESPN. Meanwhile, in the other, that was the All-American Conference. This is the ACC in Greensboro, North Kakalaki. March 9th through the 13th, championship game, and its time will be March 13th at 8:30 p.m. on ESPN. American East Conference tournament site, campus sites, February 27th, 28th, and March 6th through 13th. The championship game will be on March 13th at 11 in the morning. Atlantic 10 will be having their little screen tests now. February 27th, 28th to the 28th, and March 6th to 13th. Their championship game, March 13th on ESPN Dude. Okay, the Atlantic channel has got, well, you just watched this here and you can't do anything with it. Well, maybe. Anyway, there we go. Sorry, I'm getting drowsy again. Line 10, their dealio will be from Richmond and Dayton, March 3 through 6, and the 14th, which is championship game, 1 o'clock on ESPN. ASUN, Jacksonville, Florida, the headquarters, tournament site, March 3rd through 7th. Liberty will have the pleasure of going for a championship title. Game summaries will, of course, be blessed with something called stick to your own way of getting out. Oh boy. All right. Big East, New York, 10th through the 13th, March 13th. That game will be on Fox and/or FS1. Big Sky, March 10th through the 13th. Championship game will be March 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, Big Sky, March 13th, 8 p.m. ESPNU in Boise. We'll give you all the rest of these tomorrow because they are so damn long. Okay. Ugh. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, let's there we go. Oh boy. Sorry about that. Another yawn. Let's keep going. More NFL news. A couple of teams did what they did last year, and they put a franchise tag in some great studies. First off, for a second straight year, Brandon Sharif, I don't know, but we'll try to figure it out. But we go first to Washington. The Washington football team placed franchise tag on guard Brandon Sharif. Club announced on Monday night both sides will continue to work towards a larginium. Oh. Oh, boy. All right. There we go. Okay. Sleep again. Airline sleep again. But we shall get this righted here. Okay. Let's get some scores if we can, guys. Quick like a flash. Okay, let's try that one more time. Time. He's not on my side. No, it ain't. Oh. Whew. Sorry about that. All right. Some of the headlines. FC Barcelona election result. Joan Laporta has returned to camp now as the Barca president. Bayern beats Dortmund as Louis and Helen go off. Bomenza rescues Rita and, or excuse me. What? Oh boy. Okay, thank you very much for that. Lovely. Oh man, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Okay, let's just do this properly. By the way, Nick Rekieta tonight. He's got some leftovers to talk about in the world of law, so go watch him on Law Splaining the Interwebs right here on YouTube on the Rekieta Law channel. And with their loss to Fulham, Liverpool has set a new losing record with that loss. And here we go. Here we go. Liverpool and Fulham. Wow. This hasn't been their year. Liverpool set an ignominious record for English football champions as their 1-0 defeat to Fulham at Anfield on Sunday set a new record for the longest top-flight home losing streak by a title holder. Mario Lemona's goal just before halftime earned a precious 3 spot for regulation threatened Fulham, now level on points with Brighton above them in 17th place, and saw the Reds suffer a 6th straight home loss. They had never reached that mark before in their history. Well, all right, let's keep going. Fulham were full value for their win against the Liverpool side, bearing 8 changes from the team that had been beaten by the same scoreline against Chelsea on Thursday. Lamina picked the pocket of Mohamed Salah on the edge of the penalty area before driving a shot past Alisson at the far post. Liverpool have lost each of their last 16 Premier League games at Anfield, and it was apparent soon after Lemina. His goal is that they feared the worst even when they were chastising. There you go, Mr. Flopsy. All right. Fulham were full value for their win against the Liverpool side, bearing 8 title changes from the team that will keep them. We're going to keep them. Anyway, that's a little bit of a headline right there for you. Oh, boy. Oh. Okay. Let's we got about how many minutes? Oh boy. Oh. Okay. There we go. Okay. We're here. Yay. Okay, we got about 5 minutes remaining, so we're going to get back into it. So let's scotch this and get to some mighty scores. Sleep, the final frontier. All right. Let's do it. The Premier League, Chelsea beat Everton 2-0. West Ham United beat Leeds United 2-0. The FA Women's Super League, Bristol City over Reading 3-2. Spanish La Liga, Real Betis over Alves 3-2. In Italian cities A, Inter Milan beat Atalanta 1-0. In the French Coup de France, Monaco over Nice 2-0. Australian A-League action, another 2-0 postscript. Central Coast over MacArthur. Belgian First Division A, K2A Gent versus KY Oostendard. All right, let's Oostendard. Let's see. You get Oostende 1-0. In Danish, it was Aalborg over Sønderjyske 1-0. And in the Greek Super League, Athens over Apollon Smyrnis 2-0. Portuguese Premier League, it was Belenenses losing to Benfica 3-0. Russian Premier League, Lokomotiv Moscow over Arsenio Tula 3-0. Zenit St. Petersburg 1, Rubin Kazan 2. Turkish Super League. Let's go bottom up. Fondabak over Konyaspor 3-0. Goteps SK over Euros. Yes, I am most definitely amused. Anyway, Gustep, South Carolina. Anyway, that was a bump. Okay. Antalyaspor and Kazamapaza tied at 1. Alanispor 3, Trabanaspor 1. Gostep, well, behind me, there we go. Cornerspor and Fenerbahce 3-0. At the learning lesson. There we go. Okay. Trabzonspor loser to Antalyaspor 3-1. Gostep over Urimspor 3-1. And Fenerbahce did it to Konyaspor in fullness of time. And my head wanting to get a little pilling here. Realizing that ain't going to happen either way. Anyway, how y'all doing? Welcome back. And okay, we got about 4 minutes. 4 minutes to go. Congratulations as we give out some much needed huzzas. Another opening of another show and another winner. And wow, was incredible to see what has been happening after now 4 weeks in of the NASCAR 2021 season. And the winner from our last race was another member of the team that may or may not have actually won a race in 2021. William Byron. Nope. Excuse me. It was Kyle Larson who won the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jeffy Lube. Next week, you can catch NASCAR's finest at Phoenix at the Phoenix Raceway in Avondale, Arizona. Broadcast time 3:30. You can catch it all on Fox and Radio Wave of the Motor Racing Network. So, believe it or not, that is fun. All right, let me another gulp. There we go. All right. Let's get back. I'm wide awake now. Anyway. Oh, boy. I want to rest my head on my microphone, but I know I can't. So, from the college basketball, I don't think we got pro basketball. By the way, Washington tagged Brandon Schrif again, and the Jets placed a franchise tag on safety May. And big old congratulations to DeChambeau in golf, the Bay Hill final round. Tiger Woods texted him, so he didn't do a bad job. Now let's take you over to the NHL. And we can make things even better as I continue to just wonder why, wonder why, wonder why. All right. Here we go. We got about 2 games that are just about in their final stages. Let's give you those games right now. Montreal Canadiens over the Vancouver Canucks 1-0 with less than 5 minutes remaining in the regulation. And the Mighty Ducks over the Los Angeles Kings 5-4 with 6:15 remaining in regulation time. Final score: Minnesota Wild over the Vegas Golden Knights 2-0. Kakkonen for Minnesota, 26 saves. Fiala for Minnesota, a goal, and Fury for the Vegas, 20 saves. Edmonton Oilers beat up on the Ottawa Senators 3-2. Chiasson went rolling along for Edmonton, 1 goal. Chabot for Ottawa, 2 assists, and Turris for Edmonton, 1 assist. Final in OT, it was San Jose Sharks 3, St. Louis Blues 2. Kane with 1 goal for San Jose. O'Reilly was a factor with 2 assists for St. Louis, and Donato with 2 assists for San Jose. And another final score: Coyotes over the Colorado Avalanche 3-2. No word on who the 3 stars were for that game, and that is your NHL score board. Let's give you some of the scores, if there are any, from the AHL. And here we go. Let's get to the scores. Hopefully they had some games tonight. If not, we're just going to tap dance for a while, because we got about 10 minutes left in the broadcast. 9 minutes actually now. And I'm wide awake. Oh boy. Here we go, ladies and germs. Well, I'm not going to be wide awake too long. Okay, we got maybe a couple of scores to bring you. And wow, we do got some scores. Okay, let's do it to it, Pruitt. Stockton Heat beat the Manitoba Moose in overtime by a score of 6-5. Belleville Senators over the Laval Rocket 3-0. Lehigh Valley Phantoms over the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins in overtime 4-3. Hartford Wolfpack defeated the Providence Bruins 3-2. The Henderson Silver Knights Colorado Eagles game was postponed due to obviously COVID-19 reasons. Let's give you a look at games that were played on Sunday. And here we go. In overtime, Hershey Bears beat the Binghamton Devils 4-3. Rockford Ice Hogs over the Iowa Wild 4-3. The Bakersfield Condors over the Ontario Reign 3-1. No, 5-1, excuse me. And that is all she written for that. And once again, excuse me if I sort of did a little snooze there, but it's been a hard day here at the old ranch, but we're getting back. Okay, that is your AHL. By the way, I want to say hi to all my friends on Facebook, Twitter, Gab Social, on Minds, also on Instagram and TikTok. So there you go. Hi to everybody on every social media platform that I use. Hello. And right now we're going to go from there to little media bite. Boop, boop. So here we go, face to face, dancing toes to toes. And we got a couple of little bites for you, including one that apparently the new contract between Skip Bayless and Fox Sports also includes a chance for Skip to don a robe. That's right. Apparently, the new show that's going to be on Fox Sports 1 is sort of a sports version of Judge Judy. Judge Skip? Well, we'll just have to wait and see on that news. Right now, as you know, Urban Meyer got a better job than the Fox Sports Big Noon Kickoff Show. He's now the coach of the Jacksonville Jags. Well, Fox Sports has reportedly added Bob Stoops to replace Urban Meyer on the Big Noon Kickoff. In fact, that is now official. Fox announced Stoops' hiring on Monday. So, once again, Andrew Marchand with the scoop. Fox Sports has hired Bob Stoops to replace Urban Meyer on its college football pregame show, Big Noon Kickoff, according to sources. While Fox Sports declined to comment, after Meyer took the Jacksonville Jaguars coaching job in January, Fox Sports immediately zeroed in on Stoops. Meyer, who received near universal praise during his 2 years on Big Noon, spoke to Stoops about what the job entailed, so says the source. The role Stoops will fill is an important one for the show, as Stoops will be the non-player voice on set. Rob Stone, Matt Leinart, Brady Quinn, and Reggie Bush remain in their roles, and Stoops will be called on for his coaching perspective. Stoops also coached until he left Oklahoma in 2017, theoretically giving him more of a feel for the modern game. He most recently coached in the XFL, which bombed amid the pandemic. Whether Stoops can match Meyer's broadcasting acumen remains to be seen. He does bring a very recognizable name and a Hall of Fame coaching pedigree. Fox will likely resume trying to push for College Game Day's crowd this fall, and while losing Meyer is a blow in that regard, it's hard to think of a coach with more name value than they could have added. So, huzzah. All right. We got about 5 minutes actually. Yeah. So, why don't we just wrap things up the way we normally do, which is the scoreboard. Okay, let's get to the scoreboard and then let's get our elf out of here. Another night, another opening, and another bizarro closing. But like I said, it is a definite bizarro Monday. It's got that little feel on it. So here we go, face to face, border to border, nose to nose, and nostril to nostril. Let's kick it in for the last few moments before we go bye-bye. And I mean, we might go bye-bye. So here we go. Okay. Let's take you to baseball. And in Japan, the Nippon Professional Baseball League preseason games. About 2 are in the 8th inning, 1's in the 6th, and 1's in the 3rd. Let's go to it. Seibu Lions over the Chunichi Dragons, 7-2. Hanshin Tigers over the Hiroshima Carp, 5-4. Rakuten Golden Eagles and Chiba Lotte Marines, tied at 1. And the Yokohama Bay Stars over the Nippon Ham Fighters, 9-4. In Major League Baseball preseason, St. Louis Cardinals, Miami Marlins, tied at 7. Washington Nationals beat the New York Mets 9-5. What a way to make a living. Do we have a bell anywhere here? Boy, I guess, well, somewhere the bell is. We use it frequently on this show. There it is. Thank you. Got to always remember to use that bell when doing a joke. All right, let's keep going. Chicago Cubs blanked the Texas Rangers by a score of 9-0. Cleveland Indians blanked the Seattle Mariners 10-0. Kansas City Royals over the Oakland Athletics 10-3. Los Angeles Dodgers blanked the White Sox 8-0. San Francisco Giants, Arizona D-backs tied at 2. Cincinnati Reds over the Colorado Rockies 6-4. And Milwaukee Brewers laid waste to the California Angels 10-9. And friends, despite the fact we had a sluggish beginning, we end in a flourish. And it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. God, thank you for putting up with us here, and we hope you'll join us tomorrow, same time, same place, when we'll be at least a little bit livelier than ever. I promise you that. Until then, I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. Blessings to all and to all. A good night on the East Coast and a good morning on the West. Bye-bye, everybody.